learn just a little bit about each of our areas, our four connectedness components. And you'll see on this slide that we can be connected to adults. And connecting to adults is, you see the definition there, caring adults at school that can make a difference in our school experience. So for students, this is someone who cares about me. It could be lots of different adults at school. It does not have to be a teacher. It might be someone in the front office. It could be a coach, but it is a person or persons who really believe in the student that they're connected to. That student feels cared about as a person. They may even share some interests, some hobbies. And the next way for students to be connected is thinking about students being connected to their peers. And this is where students have supported friendships, where they really feel safe, they feel understood, and they feel encouraged by their peers. So it may be affinity groups for students on campus. It may be identity groups, wherever they have a circle of friends. And sometimes they find this circle of friends through sports. They find this through arts. You'll see many schools have developed a plethora of clubs and activities for students to join and be a part of. But that is those are places and spaces for students to be connected with others, to interact with others, spend time together. And then the third way for students to be connected to our schools is to be connected to a purpose. Students have this natural affinity for helping others. Sometimes we call this pro-social activities, where students might be engaged in tutoring, or maybe they're helping out in their community at a food bank, or they're involved in environmental or social justice projects. Michelle mentioned attendance. We found that in some of our project work with our students that they've been helping with attendance. They've been helping with agency and belonging in their schools, but connected to that sense of purpose. And then, Lenora, you mentioned this at the very beginning when we talked about connectedness. You talked about like really that welcoming, inviting place. And so, school, that is where there are clear academic expectations for our students, as well as that environment for students to feel motivated and feel like that they belong. We heard that from Michelle, that those are things that we need in our schools. We need that sense of motivation, that engagement, students attending. So is school a positive, supportive climate for our students? Are they accepted for who they are? Are they honored for their dignity and value and worth for showing up as their authentic selves, right? That school is a place of belonging for our students. And so when we hear Dr. Balfin's talk about each of these four areas, a lot of times these aren't four separate areas, right? When students are connected to their peers, oftentimes, they might be engaged in some activities where they're connected to a purpose. Or if it feels like a welcoming environment, it could be because students are feeling connected to their peers or they're feeling connected to adults. And so we know that students need all four of these pieces of connection for them to really, for a school to be that place of success for our students. And one of the things that Dr. Bob really talks about is that connectedness is a universal student success strategy. So when our students have all four of these, or our schools have all four areas of connectedness, it's really a place of success for the adults as well as the students in our schools.